Put down your baby and pick up your beer because Dad Jokes is back for another episode. We got a big episode today, and it's on labor and what to expect. I'm Jerry. I'm here with Brandon. Brandon, say hello.
What
Um,
up? What up?
I'm excited. Probably not as excited as you, Brandon. You are T minus 1 week to baby being here, so you got to be on a level 10 right now.
I'm T minus like 3 days, and if fear counts as excitement, then you're absolutely right.
I think it counts. I mean, we're going to count it here because the alternative I think sounds worse. So we'll count it as excitement. I think, and the fact that you're level 10, I think makes me come down to like a 5 or a 4. Because if you weren't, if the I guess if the roles were reversed, I definitely would be like a 12. So I'm happy you're going through it first. I guess is what I'm saying.
Yep, we all. Some people have to just lay it all on the line first, Jerry, and you can follow up in their footsteps as normal.
Well, I'll be happy to do it in this case. Before we get started today, though, in typical dad jokes fashion, let's get a dad joke underway. I'll lead it off again this week. So, Brandon, are you ready for this week's dad joke?
With bated breath,
All right. What kind of music do planets listen to?
disco.
Neptunes. That
Not bad. Mine's gonna be
was
better,
decent.
but wait till the end of the episode.
All right. All right. So let's jump right in. Yeah, this week we want to talk about labor. Obviously, labor is definitely kind of the pinnacle, the I guess Super Bowl, if you will, of pregnancy, and it is rightfully so mostly about the woman because she's obviously the one doing it. But we're still there, and as dads, we still have to be
Allegedly.
prepared. Exactly. Well, maybe we're not. I guess that everyone doesn't have to be, but we're both planning on being there, and that means we have at least some responsibilities and need to know somewhat of what is going on. So that's what we're going to talk about today, kind of what we expect, what we think is going to happen, what our roles are going to be, and kind of what is the dad role of labor itself. So, Brandon, I'll let you start today since you're so close. Kind of what did you do to prepare yourself for labor, and kind of what are your expectations for 3 days from now?
Well, to start, to answer your question pretty simply, what's our role is whatever the hell our wives want us to be in that day, truthfully.
Amen.
Um, and that's, I mean, I've been told explicitly that's what I want to be doing. Her doctor um, told me that I'm going to be taking one leg and he's putting me to work. So I'm not sure if he's serious or not. I really can't tell with his sense of humor what is real and what isn't. But I mean, you and I both are really big on like research. I think we both kind of feel a little strange not being in control of probably the biggest moment of our lives so far because we both like being in control. So it's been for me like researching, making sure that everything I can control is set, but also like understanding and my role is in kind of our relationship is the kind of the easygoing guy as well. So understanding that as much as you prepare when the day comes, and our situation is a little bit unique. I know pretty almost to a T when my son is going to be coming. She's getting induced, so we go in on a Sunday night. They're gonna, for lack of a better way to put it, loosen some stuff up, and then Monday morning, that's when they're planning to do everything. So that gave me a unique ability to prepare for an actual day to this point. Now, obviously, things happen. You never know, and I mean, we're talking about 4 days from now at this point. So, for me, the first thing was just the hospital bag. Working with her on making sure hers was set up, making sure we had all the phone chargers, had all the cables, clothes for us and the baby, and also reading material for me and a pillow because I'm going to be on an uncomfortable hospital bed and all the snacks that she wants. So, besides that, the only thing in the hospital bag for me is just extra room because I was told um, make sure you take everything that you possibly can from the hospital. There, a lot of the things that they put in the hospital room for mom is going to be refilled. So I'm going to keep stuff in my bag because we're paying for it anyway. So
So let me ask you
that's how I
this.
start.
Let me ask you this. The last time we left off, you were still on the hunt for a diaper bag. I know our viewers do not that you have since found one and are excited
Yes.
about it. Is that the hospital bag or is that not the
One
hospital bag?
thousand percent. So I have a
Yes.
backup bag right now, that's already packed, with some extra cords and what I need, other than like one extra change of clothes that I got to put in there. But ultimately, even if at a moment's notice I got to call like, hey, we got to go, I can run home, throw like a sweatpants suit that I or setup that I got on the bed and throw it in there. But hospital bag arrives on Friday. I'm really excited about it. Did a little bit too much research, and but I ended up finding the right one. It's definitely better than the one you got. We are going through this, but that's going to be the actual bag that I take to the
What
hospital.
which one is it so everyone
It's
knows? What is it?
it's the tactical dad gear bag.
That's
Their
true.
3.0 version. I was between that and their mod, but the mod was sold out, so the decision was kind of made for me. And I found a pretty great percent off coupon that got me into a price point that I was comfortable with.
Well, one thing that I know your diaper bag and my diaper bag both have is the ability to put patches on there. And I told you I bought one that says hashtag dad life, but I think we both need one that says hashtag dad jokes. So when
I
they
think
come
we
out
can
with
make that
that,
happen.
we're going to have to definitely make sure we both are repping dad jokes on
We
our
might have to
diaper
come out with
bags.
that.
We might have to do so with the logo on there. I like that. But yeah, like you said, Brandon, research was the key. For me, I started research very early. Pretty much the day I found out we were going to be parents, I started finding what are the best tools of research. And a big thing is, and I know you are into this too, but I'm a very big reader. I like books. I like keeping books because you can go back to the source. I like the physical feel of a book in my hand. I don't like electronic books. So I ordered a few. The first book I ordered is a kind of like a little week by week little, I guess, guide, if you will, for the dad through pregnancy. It's called We're Pregnant. And it literally goes week by week what to expect, what's going on with your wife, what you can be doing. That's been a good source, but that's kind of like a little bit of a Clip Notes version, if you will. One of the best books I've read so far is called The Expectant Father. They have a whole series. It is very, very good. It goes by the month, goes into more detail, presents a lot of information, a lot of data, including labor and what to expect there and what to pack in your hospital bag, all that good stuff. But the one that is going to be kind of my main source for what to do during labor is actually called The Birth Partner. And it was highly recommended by a lot of people. Funny thing is, actually, today I had a doctor's appointment with my wife. We were talking a little bit about some things, and the midwife actually said one thing she recommended would be to read the book, The Birth Partner. And I'm like, I actually have that book. I've started that book. So that is going to be on my list. I will tell you, it is a thick book and it is very, very detailed, almost to the point of scaring you, I guess. But I kind of wanted to wait till we get a little bit closer to labor to really dive deep into it. So I've only read a little bit of it so far, but I'm definitely going to be reading more. Again, for anyone out there, I've heard a lot of good things about it. I can't speak for myself just yet because I haven't read enough of it, but it's something you might want to look forward to. But I can tell you, The Expectant Father is excellent. I've also watched videos and things. But yeah, for me, it was trying to get as much information as possible. And then right now, I'm trying to talk to people that have gone through it before and also talk to the midwives because, again, we're going through a midwife kind of process and talk to them, get their perspective, ask them what I should be doing, what we should be doing. And today, again, the midwives kind of said classes are a big thing. So I know we've already started watching a bunch of online classes, and my wife recently registered for some more classes. So did you do any classes, Brandon, or have you guys kind of done that yet?
Yeah, and I think for everybody listening to this, and it might be in this same time frame that we are, we might be talking to someone who's a few years past us. We're in the middle or towards the end, hopefully, of COVID. So a lot of our predecessors have been able to have like in-person classes where you're going with your partner. You guys are both learning kind of at the same time physically in a class. That's not really going on as far as I can find anymore, or that I haven't found anything. that actually works. And on top of that, being pregnant, you're kind of a little bit more cautious about being in environments like that potentially as well. We've had a couple classes. There is my wife is taking class, and she just shared with me, and I've been powering through it for the last couple of days. A class that really gets in depth from like a mother's perspective. You go through everything from like how to change a diaper, what the mom should expect during delivery and breastfeeding, and kind of thereafter. And then I purchased a class from, if anybody's doing research on YouTube, you probably would recognize the name Fathercraft. Um, I purchased his class. The cool thing about it is it's him and Dadver, who I know you like as well, Jerry. They both give you like a perspective, kind of like what we're trying to do or doing from a podcast level. They do that with YouTube videos, and it's everything from the dad perspective. The thing I like about Fathercraft specifically is I kind of get his sense of humor. It kind of meshes with mine, and the classes are easy to digest. So I am about 80% done with that class. Actually, when we finish recording, I'm going to finish it up. I've gone through the labor and delivery section of it, and we're a lot of that info I'm actually going to use today, and some of the other things that we talk about. But going and what to expect after you deliver, things like that. So those are the two classes that we're primarily focused on.
Yeah, there's like you said, it's tough right now. We kind of wanted to go in person too, but with COVID, it's kind of been hard to find. Not only that, our schedules are very different with her working thirds, so it's been difficult to try to find anything. Even the ones that do exist have been hard for us. So we found some online ones, but one thing that's kind of nice, we found these classes that Pampers has, and it goes through kind of all pregnancy, labor, and then a little bit of after labor, including breastfeeding and postpartum stuff. Um, that they're free. So anyone out there just looking for a starting place, it's not bad. Even if you don't love the classes or don't find them to be great, that they're free. It's not a bad place to start. Each video is about 9 to 15 minutes long, and there's 9 videos. So not a bad place to start. So we watched those. Those were, I thought, fairly good. And then recently, my wife just bought classes online on hypnobirthing, which I'll be honest with you, Brandon, before this, I didn't know what that was. I didn't even know it was a thing. It was highly recommended by our midwives and some other people saying that it is very effective. They've seen it work for a lot of women. For those of you who don't know, hypnobirthing basically is just a number of techniques that a woman can do during pregnancy, during labor specifically, to help them keep them relaxed and help them have a more natural birth without the need for as much medication, if you will. And there's a lot of technique to it. So she just ordered some classes. There's quite a few. We're going to watch them together because I have some parts to play in that as well. And we're going to really see if this is what we want to do and kind of a strategy we want to have. We're not even 100% yet, but it was recommended again. So we're going to watch those as well. Well, it's nice is we got that through a company called the Positive Birth Company. They also have a couple of videos on breastfeeding and after the birth stuff too. One thing I found interesting, Brandon, and kind of one of the midwives said this to me, and it really kind of stuck home. She said a lot of the classes you see out there and a lot of the books and data is on labor itself, but labor itself is just kind of a moment in time. She's like, it's a big moment, maybe the biggest moment, but it's very small. She's like, what you should be doing, or one thing she recommended, is classes after the baby's born, because that's a much longer period of time, and you're going to have
100%.
months, years of trying to raise this infant or baby where it can't really communicate with you or not communicate with you in ways you're used to. So that is something that we're trying to do too, is not only just focus on labor and on the pregnancy, but also what happens when the baby's here, and that's already stuff I've started to do with finding books and material out there to kind of learn what we can do to be good parents once we actually have the baby home. So that is something that I think we'll probably touch on more in later episodes of what we're doing to continue to be good parents to newborns. But for right now, that's something we still want to be thinking about, I guess, is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, that was what was. I mean, when you look at these classes that like we're taking, and it sounds like what you're looking at as well. the actual like hospital section and the birth section is the shortest portion of the entire course. It's how do you prepare and then how do you succeed afterwards, which is, I mean, that's what's most important. You don't, I mean, LeBron James didn't become LeBron James just by stepping on the court and playing basketball. It's now you got God given ability, but it's also the preparation to get to the point that he's at. That might not have been the greatest example, but
You just compared birth to LeBron James. I want you to know that. So that's an analogy I don't know that I
second greatest
saw
basketball
coming.
player, second or third greatest basketball player of all time. I'll
That's a
live with this.
different podcast, I think, there, Brandon. But we
All right, we can
we
go
won't
there
get
if you
into
want to,
that.
Jerry. Our personalities might really start coming out then, and our
It
actual
might.
basketball IQ has
Well,
something to
I will
prove.
tell you that, like you said, it is a moment in time, but it is a big moment in time. But one thing that I think is kind of hit me recently that's it's kind of funny is like labor, although short in the long scheme of things, it's actually long though too, if you know what I mean. It can be, 12, 15, 18 plus hours,
Yeah,
which is a long time. And in the when you're thinking of having a baby, I guess growing up or as a dad, or when you find out, you kind of think, oh yeah, I'm going to be there, and then we're going to go through this little process, and then the baby's going to be there. But when you start thinking, oh, you might be at the hospital, or you might be going through this labor process for a full day or two, it becomes a kind of a different perspective. You start thinking, well, what am I going to do for that time, or well, what am I supposed to do, and what is going on? And that's kind of what I'm trying to really wrap my head around right now, because you know, I am not a very patient man, and sitting around 18 hours waiting for my child to be born is going to be a little bit of hell, I think. Not as much as it is for the woman, don't
I'm
mind,
glad you
but
just said that, Jerry, because I was about to jump in and say for all the moms listening and wives listening, it,
nowhere
it
near.
yeah, we understand that that's our impatience has nothing to do with what you're actually going through. And I mean, you hit the nail on the head. I mean, I was doing a little research for the podcast, and labor on average is 8 hours. So and a lot of them are a lot higher or a lot longer, excuse me. And that's the one thing. And we're talking about kind of what we're expecting day of. Um, I'm unsure of how our entire process is going to be with being induced. I mean, it's not necessarily going to be the quickest thing. We're wondering if we're trying to have a natural birth, but is it going to be? Are we going to have to go C-section, or is she going to have to go C-section? Those are the things you kind of I'm trying to with her mentally prepare for, just so we're ready um, each way, and we trust our doctor, and we have a plan in place that we want to go through, and certain things are kind of last resorts, but you also got to do what's best for mom and the baby at the same time. And for me, like day of things that I just don't you don't know if you're ready for until you get to it. Like seeing like I've never seen my wife in pain before. I mean, you've seen like partners get sick throughout the pregnancy. You've had moments of like at what I would call like discomfort or pain in comparison to the actual birth. I might get in trouble for that saying it like that, but like I'm probably going to have points, maybe long periods where I'm feeling like helpless while you're sitting in a room and I mean watching literally a birth happen and just extreme pain from a partner's perspective. So that's, I mean, those are some things that I'm probably the most nervous about, other than just wanting my wife to be healthy afterwards and the baby to be healthy after.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely correct. There's a little bit of a helplessness feeling, and obviously the health of everyone is the most important thing. I think what is key is communication, especially beforehand. Even you want to know what your wife wants. You want to know what her plan is and how you can help reach that plan for her, because if you don't, then day of, you don't know how she's going to act. She doesn't know how she's going to act, so
Oh, I
you
know how
listen to
she's
her
gonna
then.
act, Jay. I, I I hope my mom isn't listening to this, but I guarantee I'm getting cussed out. Sorry, mom. Kelsey might cuss me out. Maybe, probably, definitely. Like it's certain things I can guarantee. It's just gonna happen.
Well, that's why you want to know though what she wants, so that when she's cussing you out or whatever's happening, you know what you need to do. And then that's also communication with the OB or the midwives or
Yeah,
whoever's helping you with the process, just so that they understand kind of what you want to do. And then like during the process, having good communication because things can change. Medically speaking, they can change, or even just because you've never gone through it, it might change. You got to know what is is it's something what she wants or would like, or something that absolutely needs to happen. And so I
yeah,
think
and you got to
having those
trust them
good
to do their job
communication.
too.
Absolutely, because at the end of the day, you're absolutely right. You just want everyone to be healthy, and then once you're through it and the baby's there, everyone says it, but I'm sure it's true. It's all okay. You look at the baby, you got the baby in your arms, and everything else doesn't quite matter anymore. Maybe later on you'll talk about it and be like, I wanted to murder Brandon, and but but I'm sure she'll forgive you for a little bit once the baby's in her arms.
Yeah,
I'm hoping so for your sake, buddy.
we'll be fine. I mean, you're talking about the baby in your arms. I might ruffle some feathers when I say this, but I know it's gonna be like the weirdest looking, most beautiful thing I've ever seen. I was in doing the research. The babies come out like sometimes purple, super wet, white stuff on them, and it's gonna
Hmm.
be a beautiful sight. But
You gotta
babies are
love all
kind
the
of they're
names they
kind of
have for
weird
these
looking when
things
they come
too.
out.
You gotta love like I didn't know they had I've seen newborns and I know all this stuff, but like they got crazy names for all this. Like and my wife being a nurse knows them all, so she'll be like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, that's this, and I'll be like, I don't know what you're talking about. And like like there's like babies can have acne when they're born,
Yep.
and then they have like you said like white substance on them, and then baby's gotta basically get rid of a certain I forget the name of it. Basically, the first few diapers you change isn't actually food. It's what was
Yep.
inside. So there's a name for that. They got names for everything. So that's one thing I've learned through all this is there's some crazy medical names out there. You think they'd make it more simple too, but they all got the medical names for
That's why they charge you more, Jerry.
them. Exactly. Yeah, that you pay for that in the classes for to
Yep.
have a vocab test later. If you pass, you get $5 off.
Yeah, exactly. 2% off.
Um, exactly. But like you said, it's a big deal and it's exciting. And I think that obviously if you have multiple children, baby two, baby three, you kind of know what more to expect. But that first one, I mean, I've never been in a room with someone giving birth. I've never seen that process live or on video up to this point. I don't know if you have, but there's some of a little bit of not
I forced
knowing
myself
which
to watch a birth.
did you?
My wife would not do it, but I wanted to kind of see what exactly was going on.
Would you
I'm
recommend it?
not weird with. For you, most people don't know you're kind of weird about. Actually, it's not blood; it's needles. So,
Yeah.
you should be all right. It didn't do anything for me, truthfully. I don't think I'm more prepared by watching it. I think if you're someone who's like a little queasy and your wife's telling you, "Hey, you got to be in the room," I know some people get weird. I plan on cutting the umbilical cord. Some people are a little strange about that, but they're weird about that. That stuff doesn't bother me. So for me, it really didn't do anything.
I like it. And then you guys, do you know you plan on spending a couple nights at the hospital or just one full day?
Right now with COVID, things have been a little bit different. It's recommended that you spend 48 hours after birth at the hospital. But lately, it seems like as long as mom and baby are okay and checked out by the doctor, that they've been discharging a little bit earlier. So that part is something that we're discussing with their doctor on Friday a little bit more in detail. Um, and talked to the pediatrician already. He actually was fine with not waiting the full 48 hours, but he said it depended on the condition of mom and baby. So I don't have a concrete answer for that yet, but I will by the end of the week.
I like it. Well, the next podcast that we do, episode 4, you will be officially a father, Brandon. So that'll be fun because we'll have a couple episodes where you will have a newborn and I will still be in the pregnancy stage. So we'll have a little bit of different perspectives or different, I guess, we'll be at different points in this journey that we're on. which
Assuming my wife doesn't kill me during the delivery. Yes.
correct. If she does, that's okay. She can take over for you. I'm okay with that. We can
Life
have
insurance will
dad
kick in.
jokes. So that's definitely going to be exciting. I'm excited for you, and I'm excited to hear about what it was like. So maybe that can help prepare me for the experience that we're going to go through, which I know each one's different, but the more knowledge you have, the more power you have, I guess. So before we conclude here today, though, you got a chance to redeem yourself with a dad joke because I still think I won last episode, but we'll give you a dad joke here and see how good it is. Okay.
If you won, it was because the delivery wasn't what I wanted it to be. So here we go. What do you call two ghosts that are in love?
Booze.
That's pretty good. Boot up. Boot up is the answer. And
I
I
like
got a
it.
little laugh from you. I don't know if it's because you halfway guessed it or because you know
Eh,
that mine was a little better than yours. But I put some research in on this one.
that one wasn't bad. I didn't hate that one. Hey, I gave you a music one, so that was a little bit of a nod to you as well. Little space humor, if you will. So I liked it. But yes, our next episode, guys, tune in. We're gonna do one, and we're not 100% sure on the topic just yet, but we probably will do it a little bit to do with you experiencing the first couple days at home, Brandon, and a
I'm going
little
to
bit of
recap.
what actually labor was like. So it's gonna be your show. Episode 4 is gonna be your show, kind of probably talking mostly about what that was like and how exciting it's been and how little sleep maybe you've gotten. I don't know. We'll find out.
And the hint to my baby boy's name will be in the show notes of this episode.
Oh, I like that. And then also, then you'll be able to actually introduce him to the world too on the next show. So I'm looking forward to it, bud. Everyone out there, we appreciate you. Tune in, put comments out there. Let us know what you think. Tell us where we're wrong, where we're right. We appreciate every single comment we can get. Until next time, I'm Jerry here with Brandon, and this has been Dad Jokes.